we can get started with today's session. In the previous session, we were discussing about a couple of examples and best practices that we had, right? So we will continue from there. And so there might be some more topics we need to understand when it comes to functions, right? So when it comes to functions, this is very important, like how to define a function, like how we can decide, you know, the structure of the function. These all are very, very important. For example, imagine a scenario where you want to perform addition. So you need two variables, right? Two parameters to do addition. So that time, what we had to do, your function should have two parameter placed to do those operations, right? Got it. So let us dive into more examples. Okay, without parameters also we can go and try to understand how it is. Okay, so far we have had a example. Let's say, for example, let's say um, df. My function is um, just function just check the provided number is even number or not. Okay. Is even. So it takes number as I need one parameter to check, correct? And if the number is even or not, like what is the best approach to write? So can I write directly? Let's say, for example, uh, return. If I do this, return uh, bool of bool is not required. So here I would say, yeah, this is also good. See, generally how we can check number modulus 2 double equal to 0. Correct. Now this is the core logic, isn't it, guys? To check whether number is even number or not. But this function, see, when it comes to the best practices, you should not write like this. But still, it work for most of the use cases. Let me show you like how you will be doing. So if I write, let's say 10, right? 10 modulus 2, so 10 2 5s are 10, right? And which is true when I do this. Did you get it? You got true as the you got the two as the output because the number is even number. And when I send, this is perfectly fine. And even when I send other number, let's say um, positive numbers, and 10 is positive number. Let's say let me give some negative number. When I do this, what did you see? You're seeing like even number, right? And positive, negative, all positive and negative even numbers. It is working. And let me give some other use case where the number is not an even number. For example, let me give 45. So 45 is not a even number, right? So it should be false. Third one is should be false. You got it? And as mentioned, this is not a best approach, right? And what did you mention? So when you are doing this kind of operation, so let me crash the program is even. You got it? And in this use case, if you pass something, let's say ABC, in that time, what happens? If I trigger this, see, when this 3, since it is integers, it should be okay. And when you are doing this, you're passing ABC as a string. It will go to number variable, number become ABC, and you are doing number modulus to double equal 0. So this is not a legal use, right? So how it will happen? Number modulus, right? Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so this what is the error name? Who can tell me? These are types, right? Generally, type error. Got it? So if I trigger this, you will come to know. Did you see this? So it is not happy with this. The last print statement when it is consuming this function is even. right? In this particular case, what happened is ABC is not a integer number, right? That's why it is crashing. But how we can handle this in the real time? If we had a strict check, hey, if the number type is integer, then only go on the perform this action. Otherwise, don't do it. Okay. So to overcome this, how we can do it? We can slightly change the program. I'll do one thing. I'll also have a sample reference. S- The same example. So this is a bad way. Got it. And what is a good approach? In the same function, no, I'm giving other flavor because when you're referring these notes, it will be easier for you to understand. Oh, okay, this is a bad way. And the good way is you should say if type of number, okay, when this is only integer, got it? Then only you are doing this. Okay. So this time when I do this, for example, so how the execution will be? It will call the even number function. It will passes this ABC, and if type of number, like type of ABC, what is the expression value? Who can tell me? Type of ABC is string, right? String. String equal to integer, right? So string equal to integer is false. Then it will not execute this. Got it? Did you get it or no, guys? Clear? So now this would only execute when there is a condition true case. Yeah. And in this particular scenario, so what we can do? Let me comment other one for reference. Generally, developer used to write this way. So I will not approve. I'll say like, hey, your program will crash if I pass the other than integers. If I pass even not only string, right? So if I pass list, tuple, whatever, it will fail. Got it? Yeah. Next, df is even. Now in this particular case, if I execute this out, did you see? It written as none actually. Why? Because the function is not returning any value, any proper value. So if there is nothing from the function call, it basically returns a default none value. Got it? Yeah. And when it comes to us, right? So if the number is not this, what we should do is we should have a else, if not an integer, we should say print illegal value, illegal value for modulus operator. Modulus operation. Guys, did you get it? Illegal value for modulus operation. Yeah? Yes, no. This is illegal, right? That's where, okay, illegal value. Also say, what is the legal value? So you'll be getting, and also have some statement. And, generally this will be, generally we will pump this kind of print statement to the Splunk. Okay. Then what happens whenever there is a issue, we will, as mentioned, right? So for a specific function, we will also record the person details. Okay. But yeah, since you understood those things, right? I don't want to again add all the stuff, nonsense stuff, but you know how to pass the uh, person details, even taking from the keyboard input. Yeah. Now, also say only int type is int value is legal. Got it? So if I execute this now, did you see this? Illegal value ABC for modulus operation, only integer value is legal. Okay. Yep. This would make sense now. Got it? So like when we are writing a program, we need to clearly understood. You should test your function multiple ways. Okay, even you can ask. Uh, See, if you want to learn more about this, right? Do one thing, just copy paste and ask ChatGPT for the review. So if you use both, for example, let's say if I go here, getting here into ChatGPT, even guys use ChatGPT extensively, okay? But for learning, okay, don't copy paste the code, write your own stuff, and then ask for the review. So for example, I just say, uh, please review my code. Got it? So it says that, see, your code looks good and correctly checks for number is even. It's saying like, okay, the code is clear and easy to understand. The variable num is appropriate for representation. This name actually, okay, and the use of percentage to directly communicate the condition for evenness, right? Efficiency, the function is a consistent time one as it performs simple arithmetic operation and comparison. Edge cases, the function should work exactly for integers, including negative numbers and zero. If you need to handle special case like non-integer inputs, you might want to add a type checking. Guys, did you understand this? This is what we were looking at, is it? Yeah. It is also clear. See, it is also giving something, and it says uh, your code is concise and correct. Good job. Yeah. And basically, even it is saying that the edge cases. Edge cases is something that we were talking about, right? Let's say if user is passing other than integers. See, that's what it's talking about. The function works correctly for all integers, including non-negative numbers and sorry, negative numbers and zero. If you need to handle special cases like non-integer inputs, you might want to add type checking or error handling. But for most applications, your code is sufficient. Got it? But it is, see, this is edge case. Okay, we need to have this. Otherwise, I will not upload the code. General, right? So this now, if I pass this out and say, can you review this? See, review this code as well. I'm passing another one. It is exactly checking everything. See, it looks like you were attempting to handle cases where the input is non-integer value by adding a type check. However, there are some issues with the code. Let's review and correct them. Okay. So for type checking, if condition you are comparing type of ABC to integer, this does not check the type of number instead it compares the type of the string. Okay, which is always false. Error handling. If the input is not an integer, you can print error message, but do not return a value or handle the error gracefully. And function return type. When the input is not an integer, you might want to return none or raise exception other than the printing message. Oh, that's fine. This is expected one because we need this style only. The reason is simple. Like currently it is not connected with any Splunk or anything, right? That's why we were just printing out. Yeah, makes sense, right? So guys, this is what about this is the mandatory. See, when the parameter is not having any default value, this is a mandatory parameter. Okay, mandatory parameter. Got it? Which means when you are sending value to this function, then only it will work. So, for example, you are calling this function. Let's say I'm calling this function. Okay, but when you're checking or working on this, you just uncomment it and try to understand one by one. Okay, yeah. For now, I'm just commenting it out. So when I use a single hash for a single line comment, make sense? Yeah. And this time, if you see, I call this I'll call this even function. Okay, but I'm not passing any argument to it. So this name we used to call parameter. See, in function definition, whatever the variable names are there, we used to call them as a function parameter. Got it? But when we are calling a function, when we are passing some values, right, we used to call as a arguments. Okay, in single word to understand, right? Df. Okay, let me give a small syntax to easily understand this. Df function name is, let's say, f1, and here parameters. Got it? And some statements. Okay, and f1 here, whatever we are when we are calling a function, and whatever the values we are passing, let's say 10 comma 20, for example, whatever it is, right? 10, 20, 30, in number. So here this parameters, let's say number 1 comma number 2, for example. Okay, so here number 1 comma number 2 are the parameters. Okay, and here 20 and 30 is the arguments. When we are 20 are the arguments. Make sense? Now, so that's what. See, let me exactly relate to this so that it will be very easier for you. So now, so here num is argument, sorry, a parameter, and values when we are calling a function, then that is a argument. Okay, these are the arguments. And in the even is even function, we are not providing any argument to it, isn't it? But when it comes to the function definition, so num is the mandatory parameter, which means if I don't provide it, it will say that hey, the one of the mandatory positional argument is missing. Let's say type error is even function missing one required positional argument num. Okay, so you are making a call. You are making a call to this function definition, but since you are not providing any argument value to this num value, that's where it is failing. Got it? By looking this error itself, we should understand. You are making this call. See, and when you are reading through the error, it should be very clear. Okay, so it is a type error. Is even function missing one positional argument, which is num value. You are not providing num value, and that particular error line is this line. What is the line number? Line number 39. What is the file? The file is the current file is stored at C Python that 312 and function.py. It will clearly tell you what is the issue, where is issue, which line. It will clearly tell you the error also. Okay, that's where the beauty of Python, right? And so how we can see this is illegal. Okay, illegal. This is illegal way as mandatory as mandatory argument not pass. Got it? What is legal? Only passing one. So if I pass this, let's say 10, so this is legal way as it has only one argument. Make sense? Okay, I'm commenting this, and when I execute this, it would print. Okay, so this is legal way as it is only one argument. But yeah, anyway, it will come and print the else block. That should be fine, right? Yeah. And what is the other illegal way? So we need to understand what is legal and what is illegal. Got it? So when I do this time is even, right? Is even, and say if I pass other than one, let's say 10, 20, 30, for example. So this is again illegal because function definition required how many arguments, Aparna? Function definition required how many parameters? 1. But how many we have passed? We have passed 3. Got it? So this is illegal, as function definition has only one parameter, but 3 arguments passed. Make sense? So now let's say if I comment this out and execute the other one, it should work. Okay, but it should work without any errors. But when I comment this now, this would fail. This will crash. Why? The function is even takes only one position argument, but 3 given. Got it? So this is the error. Like, you were able to understand the errors, is it? Navin, Priyanka, everyone. You were able to understand the errors, right? Yeah. Yeah. Because see, crashing application, if application is getting crashed, absolutely fine. No issue with it. But when you look at the error, you have to fix it. Let's say imagine you are seeing this kind of error in the production. You can easily identify, right? Hey, why you're passing this many arguments? Function only takes one, right? You can also inform to the developer. Got it? Let's say if Priyanka is watching, monitoring these things, monitoring the environment, and if you see this error, just you can also direct them, right, Priyanka? Isn't it? Yeah, right. So this is illegal, right? So meaning this is a mandatory parameter. Okay, got it? And what I will do is I'll in the same program now I will make it optional. So we can also do optional optional way. Got it? Let me tell you how this can be. Same program, everything else is same. You may see duplication of code, but there is a small tweak in this program. Okay. Now I'll make optional parameter. Okay, so what is mean by optional? Now, see, by default, the currently num is taking from num values getting from the function call, right? From here, from the function call, you are getting some value. You got it? So optional parameter. So when I say optional parameter, it can also have some default optional value. For example, let's say by default is 0. You got it? So here now we need to understand how this works. Okay, so let's say in this particular case, what is the default value of now? 0, is it? So that's where that's where I made this is optional. So when I write is is even function, and in this, if I don't provide value, still be fine. Why? Because by default it has some default value. You got it? If I print now, let's say without passing any um, arguments to the function. Did you see it? When it comes to by zero modulus to w equal to 0, like here. Oh, okay, my bad. So I have to get rid of this here. This guy shouldn't be here. Yeah, yeah. Did you see this? Zero modulus. See, zero modulus to w equal to 0, which is true. Got it? And see, like what happened just now. See, if you pass this explanation, let me give a explanation also. Is is even function called without arguments. So function definition has parameter whose default value is 0. So it consider it it consider that value and passes to the function body. You got it? Yeah. So what I mean is when we make this function call. it comes to this. See, when this function definition will be executed, only when you make a function call, right? So, for example, if I just commit it out, if I execute, nothing will happen. Okay, but only function definition will be triggered when there is a function call. Okay, in this particular case, print is even, right? In this particular scenario, what I have just made is I just call this function, meaning the trigger will happen, the function execution happens. But here num equal to 0, by default num has 0 value. Then if type of num, the num value becomes 0, it takes default value. You got it? Yeah. If I execute this now, you'll see true. Got it? And see, this is like when I say optional, right? You may pass, you cannot pass. So this is like you're not passing, no args passed. Got it? And if you pass, for example, let's say, so if you pass, let's say here, 20, for example. So print is even this case. So what will happen in this particular use case? What happened? You're passing this 20. So what really happen is it takes 20 and it overrides this value. You got it? Overrides num value from 0 to 20. Got it? And if number, like if number is 20, double equal to integer, true, and return number modulus to double equal to 0, true. Make sense? Understood or no? True, right? Yeah. So let me also give a quick explanation. Guys, understanding these are very, very important. Okay. You may be doing here and even the real time, you will see in the similar use cases and you need to understand like why it is failing. Okay. Otherwise, no problem. Is even function called with argument 20. So function definition parameter default value 0 overrides with 20. Got it? Overrides with 20. That's where what will happen after this? Overrides with 20. So num value becomes 20 and function returns. Make sense? Any questions in this? Anyone? Aparna, Priyanka? No? Sure. So in this test, I'm just adding odd number is even, and that's a 13. Okay, make sense? So what is the core logic here? The core logic is number modulus to double equal to 0. 13 modulus to double equal to 0. So 13 is not part of the second table. So that cannot be see when it comes when the remainder is 0, then only it performs, right? Got it? Yeah. Make sense? Sounds good. Yeah, please go on mute. Yeah. So this is about optional parameter. And also when you're doing this, when you're doing one more activity, for example, is even. So only allowed legal is, see, you need to understand, only allowed arguments is 0 or only 1. 0 or 1, not only. Okay. 0 or 1 argument. 0 or 1 argument. You got it? So when I say only allowed argument is 0 or 1 for optional, for optional parameter, just define the function. Make sense? Did you understood this or no? So this is legal and is underscore even, okay, and say 56. This is legal. What is illegal? Illegal is it should not pass more than more than one argument. You got it? So this is legal. More than one is illegal to a function. Got it? So I would have, when it comes to this is even, and say 10, 45 and 79. You got it? So this is illegal. Eh, okay, so I'll just explain you quickly with this explanation. So again, type error. When I do this, when I execute this out, what will happen? Type error, right? Again, yeah. Molly, did you understood what happened? Because even optional is only one argument, but we have three. We have given three. See, even when you are seeing this error, right? See, type error, even function takes 0 to 1 position arguments, meaning it takes 0 or 1 position argument, but 3 were given. Did you understood the exception, like error message, why this was? Sounds good? Yep. Hey, what happened, guys? Everyone is in sleeping mode, like Monday morning, is it? Uh, is it? Okay, sounds good. Okay, makes sense. Guys, that's what you need to clearly understand each and every aspect of the logic which I'm writing. It's very, very critical, right? Okay, so this is one way, and we also need to have a this is see now this with this example you understood all the legal and illegal practices, right? Cool. So let me also give one more example where there are two parameters are there. Okay, let me show you this. This is very nice to know things, guys. It is so much fun actually. When you understood the the core concepts, right? Programming is very easy. Okay. Now this time, let's say I'm just checking if both the numbers are what you can say. If both the numbers are number one, comma number two, I would say. So now the task is the use case. The use case is write a function or check both the numbers are even or not. You got it? Check if both the numbers. Let's say two numbers are there, for example. Now again, what I'll do is I'll make a optional. See, number one modulus. Sorry, so number one equals 0, number two equals 0. By default, I made this, and I need to see this check is fine if number one equal to integer. Also, number two must be integer, is it? And type of number two must be integer. You got it? So now I'm making state check. If one of the parameter is other than integer, then we are raising error. Yes, make sense? So even without logic, without executing logic also, we can test it out. Actually, basic test we can do. Let's say is even. So pass, right? Pass is what? Pass is a Python statement. It does not do anything because Why I'm written pass is, without this pass, if I execute this program, it will say like, indentation issue. Okay, because if block is not properly formatted. That's why, to make it syntactically correct, that's where I am just adding pause here. You got it? Now if I just execute this, did you see this? This time it executed. Let me close and execute one more time. Yeah. So if I execute this time it executed, right? It executed, but it's not having any issue. Make sense? Yeah. So one second. It's not happy with some. Yeah. If I execute this now, makes sense. Got it. Yeah. So this time, what is the function? Is even. So two numbers we are passing. We need to check is even or not. If one of the parameter. So did you see this? Currently, what? See, in the same sense, zero function takes. I'll write this scenario here for your clarity. See, is even function takes 0 to 2 positional arguments. You got it now? Did you understand why? Because see, you can pass, since number one is defaultly having 0, number two also defaultly having 0. Did you get it? So, like this function can take, so this is legal. Now we have passed 0 arguments. Make sense? Still it's working. Did you see this? Yeah. Next. And when I say even, is even, and this time I'm only passing. Did you see it? When I do this, it is already saying, hey, when I just open parenthesis, it is by default it's saying like number one is 0 and number two equal 0. So for example, if I put 12, only one function call, only one argument, right? What happened? So what happens is it takes 12. Okay. So still it is legal, right? Did you get it? So it takes 0 to 2. So for 0 it is working. For 2 also it should work. But you need to understand like 12, like where this will go. So either it will go to number 1 or it will go to number 2. Got it? So actually this value will go based on the positions. Okay. And if you see, you're passing only one value in this parameter position. What is the first parameter? Num1. Did you get it? So 12 and goes and sits into number 1. So I would say here number 1 become 12. Guys, did you get it? So number 1 become 12 and number 2 is 0. Makes sense, right? When I execute this out, no error in this. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. No, we are not doing any operation, right? We are just doing basic syntactical check. Not only syntactical, like basic basic checks I am doing. Currently we don't have any proper logging. Make sense? We are not doing actual core job now. Or we can also add, that's okay. So here, and this time again. So what is the use case? Check both the numbers are even or not. Did you get it? Check both the numbers. Like if one number is even and one number is odd, it should fail still. It will return me false. Got it? So where it will do? So simply return. So who can tell me what will be the what will be the core logic for this? We need to check both numbers are even numbers or not. Okay, I will give. Okay, who is that trying something? No, Aparna, go on. Perfect. Guys, did you get it? The same thing, In this case, what happened? See, whatever logic we have tried. So if you look at this, we don't have this portion of it. We don't have this portion of it, isn't it? Rest of the things are exactly same as it in the previous case, previous example. In this time, we were checking two mandatorily. Then you should enable this. Guys, did you get it or no? Naveen, Mauli? So this is the mandatorily we should check. When it comes to mandatory check, right? And operator. and operator it will do. So there is when it comes to operator concepts, right? That's where like be please go back and understand operators, understand the previous other concepts. This is critically important, guys. You must have completed today assignment, for example, you're done. No, it's not done. You have to refer back all the session notes, or even if you refer back your practice session notes also fine. Let's say day one you practice something, right? You should also maintain a notes. Every day you should maintain, write down the some sample programs. Understand, you can question, challenge yourself. Hey, I need two position arguments, three position arguments. Like, user might, you are giving full flexibility to the user. User can do anything, okay, but your program still handles very nicely in the back end. Yeah, makes sense. So this is what the core logic. Okay, so this time when I pass this 12, what happens? So number one becomes 12, and number two, since we are not passing any value, right? Let me comment this out. Yeah. So since for number two we are not we are not making anything, right? So number one become 12 and number two becomes 0. So if type of number one is what? 12. 12 type of 12 equal to integer. True. And type of number two. Number two, since we are not passing anything, it has a default value. It takes this default value, and type of 0 equal to integer. That's true. So both the conditions are true now. First condition is true and second condition is true. Is and condition, right? And operator. It would only returns the Boolean expression if both both are true. Then only true, right? You know, right? And but we can say truth table, and table, and R table, XOR. We don't care about X or nor anything. We will only focus on and table and R table. Okay. So when it comes to, I think you must have seen, I guess, but let me quickly give you a truth table of n. Got it? Did you see this? Yeah, here. When it comes to truth table, or I can show you something easily. What is this? This nor. We don't care about nor. One second. Let me just click on the images. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. See, when it comes to and to table, right? If you see, it will only become one if both the conditions, let's say condition one and condition two, becomes true. If both are true, then only it will return true. If any one is false, it will return false. Did you get it? Yeah. In the or table, if any one is true, see, for only for 0 0 only, it has become a Boolean false. Rest all is true. If any one condition is true, then it becomes true. You got it? So now we need to understand like what to write. When you're writing up this one, when you're writing up this kind of conditions. So mistakenly if you put or, so your logic is going the, okay, it will not work. Understood? So it should be clear. Yeah, make sense. In this particular case, what will be the value here? Output is, what is output? Even, right? So meaning we will get true, isn't it? Yeah. And when I, even for this case is even, let's say since I didn't pass anything, still output, what is output? True. Makes sense. Got it? And let's say is even this time. Now I'm passing 10 comma 15. Got it? Now this time what will be the output? False. So, what is the reason here? Reason is, see, the 10 is fine for 10 15, okay, and this also condition also true. But when it comes to here, this particular expression, right? This expression becomes uh, 10 modulus 2 double equal 0 and 15 modulus 2 double equal 0. Make sense? So here 10 modulus 2 double equal 0, that is true, and 15 modulus 2 double equal 0, which is false, right? Because 15 is not in second table. Now true and false. That's where that's where I was showing, right? True and false. See, true and false is what? False. 0. Make sense? If I trigger this out, let me comment this as well. And did we are like we are returning, but we are not printing out. Okay. So what you should do is you should print this way. Make sense? Then if you execute this, you will see false. Yeah, it's not happy somewhere line number 79. No, no, this is not with this. Actually, I'm using all the this format as right. Somewhere line number 79. That's okay. Never mind. We don't care about that. Yeah. So this output will be false. Got it? Now you understood like 0 to 2 is legal. This all the uh legal function call. When I write legal like fun means function, okay? It's not like our fun. Yeah. So when it comes to illegal, right? So what is illegal? So for example, is underscore even, right? And when I write more than 2, let's say 10, 15, and 20. So what is error? When you go back here, the same, type error only. Exactly, error will return like this. Type error, function takes 0 to 2 positional arguments. No, no, right? See, the type error function takes 0 to 2 positional arguments, but 3 argument. You got it? You got the error name, Priyanka? Did you get it or no? Yeah. So this exact error it will rise. Even go and take it. Did you see it? Exactly. See, the valid is legal is 0 to 2, but 3 were given. This is what I just mentioned here, right? If we put this, then you will understand. Even you can see the length of this characters are exactly matched. You got it? We need to understand this way, so that what happens, you know clearly what error it is. If it is a type error, you will clearly say, hey, man, your function takes only 2 positional arguments, but why you are giving 3? You can speak about that. Yeah, make sense? Illegal use. Illegal, illegal. Yes. Okay. So now we understood, what is legal, what is illegal when it comes to the functions, right? This is nice. Guys, I'm telling you, we never had, even if you just go through YouTube and any other platforms, right? You'll never have this much data. Even wherever you go, you never find this kind of content, because this is completely from experience. This is what we need in the IT. Okay. So this is what we need in the actual business use cases. Okay, now we were seeing only the numbers and basic things, but this can be applied to the actual feature logic also. Okay, got it. And this is about what we can say optional, and both are optional, right? Now this time what I'll do is I'll take I'll take out one. Hey, this time I'll say, hey, your number one is what we can say. Uh, this time I would say number one is this, and number two I'm making it mandatory this time. You got it? Now, yeah. So is even, right? Is even number one is one optional, one is mandatory. Got it? Or I would say number one is optional. Number two is Guys, did you see? I'm writing each and every notes. Did you see that? Also, please, when you're writing out, please take a proper notes based on your understanding. Write your own notes in your own style. When you refer them, it should be very neat. Got it? Yeah. It's very important. Don't be lazy. This guy is giving me every notes. Let me relax. Just me try executing this program. Once I got output true or false, I'm done. Don't do it, guys. Don't be lazy. Sit, write it down, understand the concepts. This is critically important. Every day go back each and every notes which you have written, like refer them on time to time, because this is programming. Okay, you may be understanding this concept thoroughly, but maybe after 10 days if I write the same program with one optional parameter, one mandatory, and one star, or other way around, right? Don't be put your blank faces. I will be very serious about it. Okay, so never do that. Practice. And as mentioned, if you're not understanding, you can pull me at any time. I'm right away, right? So whenever you are sending, like, immediately I'm doing, because my all laptops are set as, like, I'll instantly act on your things. Did you saw that? Even your assignments reviewed quickly as soon as I'm done with my activities. Yeah. So I'm taking that much serious because this is a job oriented program, right? So you should be very serious, because if you are not serious about your job, who will care about it, right? So please act promptly whenever, take notes. This is critically important, guys. Avoid doing imagine, guys, see, I work for a very prestigious company in the world. Okay, and the whole weekend I never spent for my fun activities. I have taken maybe small half an hour or 1 hour break. That's it in between, right? That too for food and other stuff. And if you see, like, implemented this almost 250 lines of CSAD pipeline. Isn't a joke, actually, guys? This would give you money. Okay, your fun will not give you money. Actually, it will give you happiness. Of course, I agree with that. But once you're done with this program, right? As mentioned, two 2 months. Please work hard. After that, I will not ask you also, because once you get into opportunity, that's up to you. Okay, you can double your enjoyment there. Understood? So it's very critical that you should start working on a development part of it. Yeah. Cool. So even because I want to make you as a perfect engineer, when getting into a company, by looking at code, you should tell them, "Hey, who has written this code? This is not it's supposed to be. Let me update the code." Okay, and do a test. Like, send it for a review for your team lead or architect. Okay, let them review and come back and say, "Hey, this is cool to have a conditional or feature." They should say that should you should be in that position, not that joining a company. No, this guy joined, this guy's written some crap logic, this works for customer, sometimes it will not work for customer. We should not be in that trance. Okay, we should be in a position where everything is like, that should be amazed every day. Even the stand up itself, right? You should talk more about what you have achieved or what you have done. Talk about all the feature. Say, hey, this is a feature. And for, even when it comes to me, right, in my stand up, I'll talk my if you look at, most likely I'll start posting the standard update to you as well, actually, when we are working, right? You need to understand, because that's where you will make the everyone's attention. Okay, even the when it comes to local stand up or customer stand up, everything, right? You should talk more about the things, yeah, which we have heard, which were, because they don't know, like, what you have worked, right? Because you have to present yourself hard. Yeah. Okay, anyway, let's complete this portion. This is critically important now. Yeah, if you look at this currently EC1, right? This function is, see, number one is optional and the number two is mandatory. Did you see it? But when I say this, and when I say even, right, you'll be thinking, when I export this, for example, this is p- parameter without a default allows parameter default. So currently, see, we have written like this, correct? Number one equals zero and number two this way. So actually, when you want to make some default values, right? So this is not the order. You got it? So when it comes to when you look at the complaint, right? See, parameter without a default follows parameter with default. You got it? So meaning I had to change ulta. Now I'll do one thing. I'll just make number 2 to 0 so that I'll be still into the same. Yeah, it got it. Okay. Now, did you see it when you're doing this? Now, if you don't pass anything, what will happen? It will say the actual argument length is now one to 2. You got it? See the function, how many argument it will take? It will take one argument, okay, minimum one, because second one is default, right? It will take minimum one and maximum is 2. You got it? Minimum one and maximum 2. If I trigger this, what will be the error name? Who can tell me? Function takes 1 to 2 arguments, right? See here, exactly, you are seeing this. It takes 1 to 2 arguments, but 0 given. Did you get it? Did you understood why, like, what is the exact error actually? Error message? Yes, no? Right? Yeah, if I exclude this now, did you see this? See, the function takes missing one required positional argument number one. But yeah, see, see this is not a, what we can say. Even I can complain to Python saying that, hey, this is not a uniformity. See, when they are writing when they're giving this kind of message, right? So message should be exactly even, it should be in uniform. Okay, it exactly matches with this, right? This is where the improvements are required still to the Python. If you know, when you see Python, right, currently 3.12.5, right? If I make a complaint, hey, this is not a good practice. You are returning this kind of error message. The message is inappropriate, or no, it's appropriate, but it's not following the uniformity, right? You should only follow this kind of style so that it will be more, easy to understand. Correct? Yes or no, guys? Yeah. All right. So now that's fine. So this time when I go ahead, I'll do one thing. I'll just copy this code to a new file, because since we had so much crap on that, say, the function, okay, yeah, and close the, okay, makes sense. If I execute this now, did you see this function missing one required position argument number one? So number one is mandatory argument, number two is optional. Okay, so this is illegal use. Okay, and is underscore even. Now let's say, for example, uh, 2, for example, what will happen? Illegal as number one is mandatory. Okay, so what about this? Is even 2. This time what will happen? So it takes 2, goes here. Number 1 become 2. Number 2 is 0 still. Number 2, type of number 2 double equal to integer, true. Type of number 2, is like number 2 is 0. Type of 0 double integer, okay, valid. And this also valid. Guys, did you understood what it will return? True or false? Yeah, true. Yeah, makes sense. Did you see it? I'm not printing out. That's why it's not printing out. So make this. Got it? And this time, if I pass 10 comma some bar character, some, let's say, hey or hi. So this time, what will happen? What will be the error? Who can tell me? No. See 10, right? See 10 goes to here. Type of time double equal to integer. Where? No. First of all, the condition itself fail. It will not enter to this block. You got it? Because the first value is integer, the second value is string, right? This would, the condition fails here. Now did you get it? So it will not enter. It will not enter because the condition itself failed in this. The first condition is true, but when it comes to the second condition, false. Right? Type of type of high is string. String double equal to integer, false. Okay, since the true and false. If you have or operator, then it must have gone here. You got it? So for example, if I do this, what is the what is the output? It returns false. Why? Because see, okay. See, it still executed true because I'll tell you. Here I'm not see type of number one modulus two. I'm not doing modulus. No, yeah, modulus is missing. See, if number two modulus yeah number two modulus number two this one I should do, right? Yeah, number two modulus two. Yeah, now this will fail. Type error, illegal use. Did you see this? Yeah. So how we yeah, that's where. So that's why you should put a and operator here. So meaning this will not allow if it is not integer. If both the values are not integer, this will not allow to get into here because it would stop right there. Okay, this yeah. So if condition itself fail, right, this block will not be executed. This block will not be executed. Simply get into here and say illegal values. Got it? Did you see the message? Number one is not okay. So where it is it is saying like there is a we have used num actually somewhere. Where is that number? Oh, okay. Oh, got it here. Illegal value num unnumbered. Because see, when we want to make it a generic illegal value, so see, if you want to make a state check, you can make a single check, but here you can make some generic illegal value num1 or num2. So it should be inside the placeholder. Okay. Illegal value num1 and num2 for a modulus operation, for example. Only integer value is legal. Okay. If I execute this, then you will see proper thing. Illegal value 10 or high for modulus operation. Only integer value is legal. Make sense? Yeah. Guys, did you understood all this all those examples? Any questions in this? No? Okay. I had a other session at 7:30. Okay, so I want to stop it right here. And my expectation is that please revise all the concepts, revisit the videos. Okay, so once you are done, let me know. I can also provide other premium videos access, right? So that it will be more fun to learn actually.